Mm, 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 mm. What's good with y'all? So this video is a follow-up video to another one I made. So if you want full context to understand where I'm coming from, you should probably check that video out first. But with that being said, let's just get straight into it. So with the first video, I tried to put on my little YouTube suit and tie, be a professional, but I forgot where I was, bro. This is the internet, and unfortunately, a lot of y'all are just brain dead. Not the majority. I love y'all. For the most part, people is cool, but some of y'all is absolutely brain dead, and I'm gonna address some of the stuff I was seeing in the comments. Some of it was valid, like okay, but some of y'all, you gonna see, but yeah. So the first comment we got this genius right here, starting off saying Yoshi P isn't a developer, he's a producer. Big difference. I don't know what they got to do with anything, but okay. I guess because I said it had a smooth development, and he said because it's not an RPG. Well, bro, what? Your bias is already showing right there. What does it not have being an RPG, even though it is an RPG, have to do with being a smooth development? Let me introduce you to a game called Forspoken. Like, so any game that's not RPG has smooth development. What are you talking about? Get out my comment section. He could proceed to say a lot of stuff that don't matter. Talk about the whole JRPG fiasco that had nothing to do with my video. Don't know why you're bringing it up. And he also talks about the Dragon Quest developer and what he said. Why do I care what the guy that made Dragon Quest, what he said? I do not care about what that man said. What that got to do with Final Fantasy? He could say Final Fantasy is dog shit for all. I don't care. He has nothing to do with nothing. That's why he's working on Dragon Quest. I don't play Dragon Quest. I don't care what he says. What? That was irrelevant. I could see if it was someone like Sakaguchi, the Final Fantasy. He himself is a fan of Yoshi P work. So what? Why does his opinion matter? I don't care. He then said 16 will perform weak because it ignored the core fans. Yeah, you could make the argument about 15, but guess what? 15 is one of the highest rating selling Final Fantasy games in its action. So automatically, you're not even speaking facts. You're just talking out of bias, and that's why I can't have discussions with people like this. Because if you're not going to actually look into the facts and you speak it from your heart, there's nothing I can say to convince you, nor do I care to convince you. You just kind of look bitter, because that's wrong. Statistically, it's just wrong. Because Final Fantasy 15 did good. Why would this one do any worse? 7 remake did pretty good. It was the highest, no, but it did relatively good. And this where the Capri's start getting crazy. He says 16 has no party, only guess. The setting is super flat. I don't know if we've seen the same footage, but if that's what flat is to you, then I'll take it, I guess. There are no races. There are no cool vistas. It's short. Short? Okay, buddy. And it's about an angry, edgy little boy, some bullcrap, he said. Buddy, the game's not even out. For somebody that's never even played the game and obviously never seen the trailers either, you have a lot to say about it. Like I said, you're not speaking from what the actual facts are. You're speaking from hate. There's nothing you can do to convince these people that they're wrong. Like, okay. Then I saw this other comment. Now, this one wasn't too bad, but it kind of summed up a lot of what other people were saying. He started off by saying a lot of people aren't even arguing to go back to turn-based. First of all, that is cap. That's exactly what they're saying, but agree to disagree. Then he says most people, he's basically saying people are complaining that 16 threw everything about turn-based away, meaning like no ATB and all of that, blah blah blah. You get the point. Saying that they didn't include the original fans, and basically that it's a Devil May Cry clone. But here's the thing. First off, I'm not going to ignore the fact that yes, this game took a lot of inspiration from Devil May Cry. I mean, it literally has Devil May Cry devs on it, so it's not necessarily that it took it from Devil May Cry. It's just a lot of the devs that were on that team are working on this one. But here's how I see it. Now, you don't gotta agree, it is what it is, but a lot of people have it in their head that Final Fantasy is only Final Fantasy because it's turn-based, and if it's not turn-based, it's not Final Fantasy. But my thing is, who told y'all that? The thing is, this is how crazy people are, right? I get that they've been doing it for so long, but you gotta understand. Now this is me saying that. I don't know if it's 100% true, but I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy being turn-based, what it was back in the day, was due to limitations of the systems way back when Final Fantasy 1. But if you paid attention, as things have developed over time, they've always been progressing away to a more action style of combat. They've always tried to include turn-based because that's what it got known for. But if you actually pay attention, they've been moving away from that for forever. It is nothing personal. That's just creative. That's just artists. They don't like doing the same thing all the time. Even if you look at 13, right? if you know the story of 13, you know that originally 13 was supposed to be what 15 was. Go back and look at it, even from the footage from when it was supposed to be like a PS2 game, PS3 game. That was action. So really, Final Fantasy was going to make that switch a long time ago, even before now. Before you could say action games is as big as they is now. So people make the argument, but I don't think that was ever the case. I'm sure part of it is true. Two things can be true at once. Yeah, they doing things for business, but at the same time, I do think they want to tell different stories and they want to do that in a different way. Like I said, if you actually pay attention, this is nothing new, which is why I'm confused why 16 gets this much hate, but 15 and all the other ones that did something different. Then, but when I think about it, they probably did because there was a lot of people trying to bash on Several Remake, but I think the majority of people that liked it just kind of outshined the hate that it was getting. But to get back to the main point, right? So you put in your head that Final Fantasy has to be turn-based, but that was never a rule. You're mad because you created this rule within your head that Final Fantasy has to be turn-based, and now that they're not following your rule that you made up for yourself, now it's an attack on the fans. Is they no longer care about y'all. Dude, I'm sorry, but the world doesn't work like that. Things are allowed to change. You can sit here and whine and say it's not Final Fantasy at the end of the day, but guess what? When that game hit the shelf, it's going to be called Final Fantasy 16, and it's going to be part of the main franchise, and there is nothing you can do about it. Like I said in the original video, for some reason people didn't understand. You voicing your opinion that you want turn-based, there is no problem in that. I had that if you watch that original video, I don't know why so many people kept coming in the comment section telling me that they like turn-based better. I don't care. Like, I even said to myself, I wish they would make another turn-based one. I wanted to see how they could advance the ATB system and make it more action-y, or not action, but like more attention grabbing. I can't think of the word. But that wasn't even the point of the video. That video was to address people saying they wish the game would fail, because I don't think people understand what that means when they're saying that, and like all the problems that comes with saying something like that and actually wishing for that to happen. That was the point of that video. Now, on a final note, here's the thing, right? I don't know how you could call yourself a fan if you don't understand this, but Final Fantasy is not just Final Fantasy because of its combat. Combat is a part of it, but every Final Fantasy plays different. Yeah, they were all evolved on turn-based, I get it, but that was the whole thing. It always changed, it always evolved. That was never the thing that made Final Fantasy Final Fantasy. Story made Final Fantasy Final Fantasy. Music made Final Fantasy Final Fantasy. There are so many elements to what actually makes a Final Fantasy game a Final Fantasy. So for you to act like the combat is the only thing that makes it Final Fantasy, that's your bias talking. That's you saying, I don't like action, therefore it's not Final Fantasy. Dude, that's just not how it works. I don't know what to tell you, but that's just not how it works. There are more than just that turn-based that makes Final Fantasy. If that's the case, then every turn-based RPG is Final Fantasy and there's nothing unique about it. No. The reason why Persona is not Final Fantasy, because how they tell the story, the universe, the world, that's what separated it from every other turn-based RPG out there. And the fact that you saying Final Fantasy is only Final Fantasy because it's turn-based, really that's an insult to all the other things that makes the games great. So I don't know how you can call yourself a fan and say that in the same sentence. That doesn't make sense. And y'all can sit here and say, oh, this game is going to fail because they ignored the core audience. Oh, you be delusional if you want to. Go look at Final Fantasy 15. Go look at 14 and then come back and say that 16 is going to do well. And if it don't,
then I will literally make a sandwich out of my own ball sack, nuts included, and choke on that bitch on camera live.
I'll make a nutsack out of my own. My fault. Shout out to Edeka. But no, like seriously, y'all gotta learn to separate y'all feelings from what the actual facts are. If you don't want to play this game because it's action, that's fine. That's not what this is about. I don't know why people kept trying to make it about that. That's not what this is about. You have a right to not want to spend your dollar on something you don't think you're going to enjoy. Like I saw a video earlier, somebody went on this dude's head because he was saying he didn't want to buy Final Fantasy because it was action, and he basically said I was dumb. No, I don't agree with that take at all. It's your money. Like, if you don't want to buy a game that you know you're not going to enjoy, don't buy it for all means. Like, I don't agree with that video telling him that. Now, what I did disagree with was when he said he wanted the game to fail. That's when I was like, you're tripping. Like I said, it's one thing not to want to buy or support something or just voice your opinion on what you want to see in the future, but wishing somebody's hard work and development and what all the other fans are enjoying, wishing that to fail because of you. And let's be honest, y'all keep saying a majority of the fans, y'all are not the majority of the fan base, which is the reason 15 did so well. If what y'all was saying was true, Final Fantasy 15 would have failed and a lot of other ones didn't, but they succeeded because unfortunately y'all not as big as y'all think y'all are. Y'all can keep saying 16 is going to fail, more than likely it's not, and that's just something y'all gonna have to accept. Whether you do or don't, it don't matter. The future is what it is. But with that being said, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I got more videos in the way. With that being said, peace. I'm out.